impossible is mine.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
Gary Parrish speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you get through the day best you can. And I sure hope you enjoyed Grizz Media Day yesterday. I know I did. 4 hours and 18 minutes of content. Bennett and I were only responsible for a little more than an hour of it, so we didn't do a lot of heavy lifting, but we sat down with Jaren Jackson Jr., we sat down with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, we sat down with Cedric Coward, we sat down with Jalen Wells. After we were done, John Morant sit down. It was a busy day inside the practice facility here at FedEx Forum. We'll talk about it momentarily now that training camp has launched. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. When we finish this open, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, we are now just 5 Tuesdays away from the first college football playoff rankings being published. Right now, Ryan's Silverfield's Tigers, they project to be a part of. I'm going to ask Bennett if he thinks they're going to hold on to that spot. We'll do that in about 25 minutes. Lane Kiffin took time on Monday to troll Brian Kelly after Ole Miss beat LSU this weekend. I'll show you what he did. We'll do that in just a bit. Penny Hardaway, he spoke yesterday at TPC Southwind and suggested he knows, or at least has a good idea, how his starting lineup should look once that season begins. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do that a little later on in the show. Tyreek Hill, wrecked his knee last night in Miami's win over the Jets. My God, had to be carted off the field. We'll talk about his long road to recovery. We'll do that in the next segment. In the Major League Baseball playoffs, they get underway today. The highlight, I think, best of 3 series between the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's in the Bronx. We're going to talk baseball during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout. We'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies. And first, by just thanking all of you who tuned in for Monday's Grizz Media Day show, which originated again from the practice facility here inside FedEx Forum. From start to finish, the GCM show, it was 4 hours and 18 minutes. We talked to Ja, we talked to Jaren. Zach Edey, Cedric Howard, KCP, they all sat down at some point over the 258 minutes of content. Big Bet Bennett, that's always a weird show to do, if only because it's just so different than what we normally do. That said, I always enjoy doing it. Had a good time doing it yesterday, chopping it up with you, with Brevin Knight and various players who sat down with us. What, if anything, from the day stood out to you?
What stood out to me? I would say, and I think you could say this about any media day, but the vibes didn't seem good. I thought that everybody seemed excited about the season. Nothing popped up that I was like, ooh, I'm concerned about that. That actually came on Friday when the injury report came out. That was the concern. I'll guess from the guys that we talked to, what stood out to me is I was already excited about KCP being a part of this team. I'm even more excited about him being a part of this team. He was probably one of my favorite people that we talked to yesterday, just because he's a guy that's played 13 years in there. He's going into year 13 in this league. He's won 2 championships. He's been on, I think, 4 or 5 different teams. He's seen everything in this league. And he talked really positively about this group of guys. And how excited he was to be here. And kind of after what was, I guess, even he would consider a down year in Orlando last year, I think he feels like he's still got a lot more to offer than what it was able to show in Orlando last year. And he was super nice about it when you asked him the question, and he talked about, the shots that he got or didn't get in Orlando. They didn't have a great point guard rotation. And so he talked about a little bit ball movement and things of that nature. And, he even said his own words, I've specialized that corner 3.
Sure.
That's what I do.
Yes.
And maybe he didn't get as many of those last year as he would have liked, and I don't think it was necessarily his fault. And so I'm just really excited about him. And he talked about just, camaraderie and how we're a family. We got to be a family. We got to go to the movies together. We got to go bowling together. We got to go out to eat together. And I love having a vet like that on this team. I'm excited about him.
I thought he was great, too. I enjoyed talking to him, not to compare him to anybody else, but just when you sit down with him, you feel like you're talking to a real adult. He's he's a father. He's got a family.
Yep.
He's bounced around the NBA. He's won 2 championships. He's been teammates with quite literally, at the very least, 2 of the best players in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
LeBron James being one, Nikola Jokic being the other. So I did think it was interesting talking to him about championship culture. Everybody says it. What does it really look like? Do you even know what you're talking about when you say it? Not him, but others. Well, he's seen it. He's felt it. He's been a part of it in Los Angeles. He's been a part of it in Denver. And among the things he talked about was, and where he sort of settled in on it, was it starts with being around each other, liking each other, enjoying each other. Even one point he said, on those championship teams, you fall into a habit where you're spending more time with your teammates than you are your family. Now, to be clear, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing necessarily, but he seemed to stress the importance of not just showing up to work with your coworkers, but being tight on the road, at home, on the court, off the court. And I don't know that that's required with every championship team. Famously, Shaq and Kobe weren't best friends. Michael Jordan didn't look in that Last Dance documentary like the best teammate in terms of spending time with people all the time. Dennis Rodman was, taking breaks from the team, going out to Vegas and partying. That whole thing seemed pretty splintered. Like nobody was really the best of friends in the world. But when it was time to clock in, they clocked in and they understood they had a job to do, and they did it extremely well. That's a unique story. Perhaps that's one only somebody like Michael Jordan could create. He's just so good, the rest of the stuff doesn't matter. But by and large, you talk to people who have accomplished things in this sport or others, and they'll settle in on a lot of the stuff KCP was talking about yesterday. When you talk to coaches about it, what they'll always tell you is my best teams are teams that I don't have to motivate. The teams I don't have to schedule for. They're teams I don't have to rally. They're teams I don't have to really walk into the locker room and say too much. They're coaching themselves. They're leading themselves. I'm here to provide guidance, to help, but I don't have to be the yeller and the screamer to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Think of it, because most of us aren't coaches, but some of us are parents. You're a father. You have young children. How much easier it is it, and I know your little one's too little, but you'll run into this in time. Just days are so much easier. Your job as a parent is so much easier when you don't have to tell your kids every single thing that they should know they're supposed to be doing. When you have to get up every morning and talk about, it's time to get up, you shouldn't have hit snooze, you're supposed to already be in the shower, why aren't you in the shower yet? I'm now looking at you, you're sitting in the shower, you don't seem to be washing yourself, why have you not brushed your teeth yet? Where are your shoes? When you have to do that every day, I mean, by the time you leave the house, everybody's in a fight. Mm-hmm. It's not productive. It is so much easier when it's like, hey, it's time to go, and everybody gets going. And the best coaches will tell you their best teams are ones where you don't have to tell somebody to get up. You don't have to tell somebody you should have already been up. You don't have to tell somebody you should already have your shoes on. You don't have to tell somebody you should have already been in the gym. You don't have to tell somebody you should have already brushed your hair. You don't have to say all the basics. They're as eager to get out the door as you are to get them out the door. Those are the best teams. Those are the best households in the morning. I won't tell you mine's always perfect, but we're trying to get better. But I thought it was interesting when KCP sort of settled in on that topic. Can we be a group of guys that really, really bond both on the court and off? Because if we're trying to take this somewhere special, then that's what it's going to require. And on the three-point shooting, I asked about that intentionally. It is the main question people have about him. All right, you got him. Once upon a time, this type of player seemed like a perfect fit. But is he still that same player? We went through this a couple years ago. You remember with who? Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
In theory, the idea of Marcus Smart made some sense. That's why people were excited about it. But once we got it here, it didn't work. You want to know why? At least I think. A, he didn't want to be here. His heart was broken. He got moved away from Boston.
His heart was broken.
Part of it was, yeah, I really do think that.
He had a broken heart.
And heart of broken might be taking it a little too far, but you get the point. I don't think he wanted to be here. Secondly, he's not the same player he was, which is perhaps among the reasons Boston was comfortable moving off of him. He's not the same player he was. The idea of him made sense. The reality of him didn't work. So the reason I bring that up to KCP yesterday is because it is the thing, if you really dig in and start talking to basketball people, that they want to know about him. Okay, yes, you mastered that corner three and became an incredibly important high-level role player for multiple championship teams. But are you still that guy? Because you weren't last year. The three-point percentage dipped pretty significantly. For somebody who brings a variety of skills to the table, but arguably none or at least few more important than that one. It dipped. Is that because he's not the same player anymore? You know what the truth is? I don't think that's the truth. I think he didn't get the same types of shots. All these guys can make shots. Put them in an empty gym, you're in there early doing a radio broadcast. All these guys make shots.
Yes.
The percentages that show up in games over a season, they often could just come down to what kind of shots are you taking. Are you getting good looks or bad looks? Think about it in other sports. Like all field goals aren't the same. We don't really just look at somebody's field goal percentage and say, well, that guy is a good field goal kicker this year and a bad field goal kicker the next year based on the percentage of makes and misses. No, the context matters. Well, he missed 4 30-yarders. Yuck. Oh, but he only missed 7 kicks all year long, and 6 of them were from beyond 50. Okay, that's a little different. The context matters. Were these makeable kicks or difficult kicks? Now just translate it to basketball. Are these makeable threes or less makeable threes? Are these easy shots, difficult shots, open shots, contested shots? I don't think he got as many good shots last year as he normally got. Some of it was because he wasn't playing with the type of players who can get you those types of shots. But guess who he's playing with now?
Ja
At least
Morant.
in theory. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And Ja's going to get you a lot of clean looks because he sucks so much of the attention from the opposing defense, whether that's in transition or in the half court. I don't think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope forgot how to shoot when he got to Orlando. I think he didn't get as good of shots, and the percentage dropped. With Ja Morant healthy, he should get better shots. I would assume he's going to make a higher percentage of them. But like you, I thought it was interesting to sit down with him. He had interesting things to say. I think the most important thing we learned, though, from yesterday, probably shouldn't congratulate your teammate on a child unless your teammate
got in trouble there.
has publicly disclosed the child. Cedric Coward, Grizz rookie, might have learned that the hard way. That was a little awkward, wasn't it?
That was a little awkward.
For people who didn't catch it, funny moment. I think it was a funny moment.
It was a funny moment.
I hope it was a funny moment. So we sit down with Cedric Coward, and he's sort of talking about being a 21-year-old rookie, and he said something that made something click into my head about how unusual that is. I'm always fascinated by these things, maybe more so than I should be. But when I see, say, an NBA rookie sitting on a bench, this isn't going to be true across the board, but it is largely true. You are watching somebody who, for the first time in their life, is sitting on a bench. Like a guy who in the NBA was probably a really good 9-year-old basketball player, probably a really good 12-year-old basketball player, probably a really good 16-year-old basketball player, and they have never sat on the bench. And then suddenly they're buried on the bench. How do you handle that? What's that like? Is that fun for you? A much less important thing. I remember this in my own mediocre athletic career. Like I was okay enough to start at everything I did throughout my childhood, up until my freshman year of high school, baseball. You know, I'm playing with people 4 years older than me. I was little. I wasn't good enough. And that was the first time in my life I had sat on a bench, and I hated it. I couldn't deal with it, right? And so when I see people like who are experiencing that for the first time, they're making more money in the NBA than they've ever made, but I bet they're unhappy because they're used to playing 32 minutes a game, and now they're playing, they're getting garbage time. And so that's just an interesting adjustment that I think rookies have to make into professional sports sometimes. Another one is, for the first time in your life, you are probably teammates with people much older than you. Teammates who have families, wives, children, whatever. And so I'm talking to Cedric Coward about that, because I talked to other rookies about that over their careers. Like, what's it like when you just get out of practice and you're used to playing video games or going and kicking it with your boys, but they can't do that? A, because they're 35 years old and they don't want to do that. B, because they got to pick up 2 kids from school. They're going to be in the car rider line just like I'm going to be in the car rider line. Like some of a rookie's teammates in the NBA or the NFL, they might have more in common with me than they do the rookie, just given the age difference. So he said something that sort of made me think of that. And so I presented it to him, and he was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Vince just had a baby. Congrats to him. And we just moved on, whatever. And about 2 people later, Vince Williams sits down with us, and I thought it was appropriate to just I just heard, like if I just heard Bennett had a baby, and I bumped into you randomly, I'd be like, yo, I just heard. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was trying to do. And I don't know.
You got shushed.
I quite literally got
You got shushed.
Like you're not supposed to be saying that on the air. And so I tried to get out of it as quickly as I could and move on, but I felt it a little bit.
Awkward.
It was a little
awkward.
It was a little awkward, right? So maybe that's the lesson.
Yeah.
It's you know how you're never supposed to ask a woman if she's pregnant?
That's right.
Unless she brings it up.
She's got to present it. Yep.
Have you ever experienced that in real life?
No.
Oh, I have.
No, I've never done that. No.
Oh, I haven't done it. I've experienced it.
Someone asking a woman if she's pregnant.
Oh my God.
Never ask a woman if she's pregnant.
Never.
It doesn't matter if she is 9 months pregnant. Never
if she's
ask a woman
9
if
months
she's pregnant. Never.
And like it's got an umbilical cord coming out of her ear.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's how it works, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Just let her bring it up. I was like at a get together. At some point, you age out of parties and you just go to get-togethers, right? When you're young, you go to parties. As you get older, they're just get-togethers.
Yep.
So I was at a get-together one time, and a woman was standing there, and I could see why you might assume something, but I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah.
And then another woman, I think it was a woman, walked up and was like, "Oh my God, congratulations! When's the due date?" Woo! It's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. And so maybe we just add this to the list. I think most of us know at this point, you're not supposed to ask a woman if she's pregnant unless she brings it up first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we can add this to the list. Don't congratulate anybody on a baby.
Yeah.
Unless they bring it up first.
Good call.
And don't go on the Grind City Media, Grizzlies Media Day show and mention your teammate's baby unless they have mentioned it first, right?
I guess so.
Hey, if that's the hardest lesson you got to learn as a rookie, that's going to be a blessed rookie year, don't you think?
Yes, I think so.
I think so, too.
Yeah, he was good to talk to as well.
He's great.
Yep.
And do you know what, in all seriousness, put that little jokey stuff aside, what impressed me about, not necessarily him, but just sort of what I found notable about his teammates talking about him. They know he's different. You hear Jalen Wells? Jalen Wells says, I'm literally jealous of him. Just this stuff. He's just different. You remember how last year at Media Day, Yuki walked in?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, even in a uniform, he doesn't look like the rest of these people. Like, even in a uniform, he looks like an imposter, like he doesn't belong here. He looks different than the other NBA players while among NBA players. Cedric Howard looks different, just in a different way. He looks different just walking around in the uniform. He looks like
some big old shoulders.
It's just, he looks, I'm not saying this is exactly true, but you'll get the point. If you were trying to design them, that's what they look like.
Yep.
That's what they look like. And then he's impressive. He's a sharp young man. Everybody I know who's ever talked to him walks away impressed. And I think you and I and Brevin can say the same thing after yesterday.
Yep.
He's just an impressive young man. The type of young man who, he's an amazing basketball talent. So this is what he does. But if you took the basketball stuff away, he strikes me as the type of young man who would be impressive doing something else, non-basketball. So he was great. We sat down with Jaren Jackson.
Yep.
I thought this was interesting. The medical update came Friday.
Yes.
And it put him returning to basketball activities at 4 to 6 weeks. Now, if you actually do we all have calendars. So you just have to go count. And I went 4 weeks from last Friday. And that puts you at October 24th, which is 2 days after the home opener, season opener, against the Pelicans inside FedEx Forum. October 24th, which would be 4 weeks post-update. That's the second game of the season at home against the Heat. Following night on that Saturday, third straight game at home to open the season. It's the Tyrese Halliburton Pacers in town for Game 3. So the timeline does not make Jaren available for October 22nd. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
But he seemed to suggest he's trying to play on October 22nd.
Yeah.
Predict it.
So if I had to predict it, I would say we don't see him in the first home game. I think it's going to be extremely important, especially because we know Zach Edey's coming back later than that. We know he ain't coming back till probably around December, right? Because we got to update on him as well. It's going to be so important for we saw a lot of Jock Landale yesterday. They seem very excited about him. He is going to be a very important piece to start this season. And then it's also going to be important for guys like Santi Aldama. Because again, like, I'm just gonna be honest, man. Like, we've been talking about these injury reports a lot. Like, I might be more in line to say to think about the 6 weeks instead of that's just me. That's just me. Like, I'm planning for that.
I guess I don't know what.
But he seemed very positive about where he was.
I just don't know what to make of it. Here's the truth. I'll be honest too. Here's the truth. Everything I've heard says he's, quote, way ahead of schedule.
Good.
I've heard that from everybody connected to Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Or at least the people I have communicated with connected to Jaren Jackson Jr. Everybody says he's, quote, way ahead of schedule. But the publicly disclosed schedule doesn't have him available for the season opener. But he seemed to suggest, like, he actually said to us, if the season opener was tomorrow, I'd be trying to play.
Yeah.
So I guess here would be my question. And this is above my pay grade. I acknowledge that up front. Why couldn't you just say return to basketball activities in 3 to 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Leave it a bigger window and leave open for the possibility that October 22nd is the day. Why not just do that? Because how do you really know? 4 weeks out? Like the difference in the timeline is literally between game 1 and game 2. It's a matter of a couple of days. How do you know?
Yeah.
How's he going to feel? Hey, like, we don't know how he feel on that Wednesday, but we think he could possibly be ready to go on that Friday.
Yeah.
I would have I think, let's put the start date at 3 weeks, the end date at 6, and they can say it's a big window, but at least it's a big window that does leave open for the possibility that he's here for the home opener against the Pelicans.
Yep. And
but that's not my job. I want to be clear. That's not my job.
I got it. And I'm really excited about something like I'm just hearing them talk about Jock and hearing him talk yesterday. He's very excited about being here. I think he's going to help this team. Like, it's going to be important for these reserve bigs, and I think Santi will obviously be in a way more featured role as we start the season. But like, you know, Brandon Clark wasn't there yesterday because he was getting a procedure done, and he was on that injury report. And you know, he's a guy that I've been talking about that, you know, what I thought that was important coming into the season. What's his status? Because we know he's a guy that can play alongside Jaren. We've seen him play in high-level games together, and that just doesn't appear it's going to be the case early on in the season.
Ideally, your Grizzlies starting front court is Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey. Under the idea, we know Zach Edey's not going to be available for the season opener.
Right.
We had Chris Vernon in here last week. I said, so how do you think they go on opening night then? Is that Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jock Landale? And he said, or you could just go Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark.
Right, because we've seen it work. And, you know,
well, now neither one of them could be available for the season opener.
Right.
Plus Zach Edey. You could quite literally be down your 3 best bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Your 3 best 4 or 5 combo players.
And then what happens if Jock Landale is in foul trouble?
I mean,
it's obviously a thing very, very early in the season, right?
Yes.
Like you can't stress that enough because these guys are coming back.
So, you know, I know that grand scheme of things, there's not a big difference between he's available for the season opener or he's not available till game 3, right? I'm sure there's people out there that say it doesn't really matter that much. But I happen to be a fan of a baseball team who just missed the playoffs by 1 game over a span of 162. We talked about this last year. I'm not going to try to beat a dead horse, but these games do matter. Yes. I know there's a lot of them, but they all count the same, and they do matter. And there's at least a chance that the Grizzlies could be starting the season, at least the very first game of the season, they could be starting it without their projected starting power forward, their projected starting center, and a guy who could reasonably be described as the 3rd best front court player on the roster. That's not ideal. But if you're looking for hope, let's attach it to Jaren Jackson's words from yesterday.
Yeah.
He seemed very confident, very determined, and seemed to suggest that, yes, his goal is to try to play in that season opener. So hopefully he beats the publicly shared timeline by at least a couple of days.
Let's go.
We'll see. I thought Thomas Isolo talking about everything was interesting, but especially discussing the importance of pace and how much he tries to pull from other sports to see if you can get things to translate from here to here. Do you see the quote about how he said for the first time in his life, you know what he's been doing on Sundays? For the first time in his life. Like, this is a man around my age. Like, if you're just now getting around to something for the first time in your life, that means you've spent most of your life not doing it, right? You know, he said he's been doing the past couple of weeks for the first time in his life? Watching Sunday night football.
How about that?
Yeah.
Well, I heard JB talking about it this morning, that he is a American pop culture enthusiast, that he's a big movie guy, and that he said that he could like beat people in trivia about American pop culture because he liked it as a kid, growing up.
Well, he and I had.
So that makes sense. I mean, that's our big NFL. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he and I had
that
dinner.
Is American pop culture.
We were at this function last week. I hated the way I phrased that last week. It sounded like me and Thomas Isolo went to like folks volley together, just the two table for two. It wasn't that. It was a function, but we happened to be seated together, like right next to each other. So when I say things like, yeah, I went to dinner with the coach, it sounds different than in reality. And I didn't recognize that until after I was saying it. I was at a function.
Whatever.
We happened to be sitting next to each other. And one of the things we talked about, it was like an hour plus conversation, most of which had nothing to do with basketball. I found him interesting talking about his wife and his children and his background. And yes, we started talking about how he learned English and what he watched and like his soap operas. I mean, it's not a unique story. People in other countries, they just want to consume anything American because of English, and you just pick up on it. I mean, I don't know why I've never been able to pick up on Bad Bunny the way so many people in other countries can pick up on our stuff. Maybe I'm a little too narrow-minded, but I watched a lot of soap operas, just watched a lot of American television. Told me he this was interesting. You know who he was excited to meet? On some level, like I'm confident Tomas Islo had no idea who I was when he took the Grizzlies job, right? Probably had no idea who Chris Vernon was when he took the Grizzlies job, right? You know who he was a fan of? Lang Whitaker.
Because of Slam. Because he read Slam.
He was reading Slam.
Lang told me that story. Yeah.
He was reading Slam. He was like, I've been reading Lang Whitaker my whole life.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yes, very cool. And so he said he's been watching Sunday Night Football for the first time in his life. And here's a quote. He said, quote, "You can take any team sport. And for the first time in my life now, I've been watching Sunday Night Football the last 2 weekends. And the way I see it, the line of scrimmage and the way misdirection is used and how many people are in motion, everything is getting more and more complex. The speed of the game and the quick decisions are getting really, really difficult," end quote. But then after that, he went on to explain how a lot of these concepts are things you can bring to a basketball court. And they're concepts that coaches do bring to basketball courts. And he wants his players to be comfortable with the concepts and recognize them in real time. And this is something I've heard not all coaches talk about, but the smart ones, they all watch other sports. You know what Dan Hurley talks about all the time? Watching soccer and seeing basketball stuff in soccer. I know coaches pull from football, a lot of misdirection stuff. The movement is very similar in some of these sports that are played on fields or courts. Soccer, football, basketball, hockey. Anytime you get a bunch of men or women moving together on a field or a court, a lot of motion, all designed with a common goal. Yeah, they're different sports. Some of them you can only use your feet. Other ones you have to dribble it. But the movement is very similar. The misdirection can be very similar. And it's a big part of basketball, football, soccer, hockey, other sports. And the Grizzlies have a head coach who, spent a few minutes yesterday explaining how he's watching Sunday Night Football like the rest of America now. But he's seeing things in it that he could bring to this practice facility. Just little things. And I've heard Dan Hurley talk a lot about this. Other coaches talk a lot about this. Nikola Jokic. I think sometimes it's overstated, but he did grow up playing water polo on some level. And I've read people explain, I don't know anything about water polo, but I've heard people explain like a lot of the skill set he brings to basketball are skills that you develop in water polo. Ball, evaluating, watching people cut, quick passes, hitting cutters. That's basketball. You watch Patrick Mahomes run around a football field. Pocket collapses. He's on the move. The classic, like when they build the Patrick Mahomes statue someday, it's probably going to be him scrambling, throwing some sidearm pass. You know where that comes from? Baseball. He grew up playing shortstop. Go into holes, make throws at weird angles, make throws on the run. You got to be able to do that stuff to play shortstop. He's brought it all to the football field. I just like hearing a coach talk about those concepts and understand them because it suggests that everything else you hear about him is true. He's sharp. Just a sharp guy with a big mind. And I thought him incorporating Sunday Night Football into his Monday press conference sort of illustrated that on some level. And then, of course, the big pullout interview that they put on YouTube, and the biggest attraction, the guy everybody wants to see, that's John Morant. And we did not talk to him. He came on after we subbed out with Lang Whitaker and Michael Wallace, but seemed relaxed, comfortable, confident, in a good place. Ultimately, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, because at this point, I don't think anybody wants to hear any more words about John Morant. They just want to see him be awesome and available. So I don't want to sit here and be like, and as long as we all know the score, when he plays, he's awesome. Lately, he hasn't played enough. Hopefully, this is the season where that starts to change.
And he also said, when he asked what his goal was this season, he said to play 82.
Yeah. And I don't want to say he won't, because I guess it's possible. I doubt it, but
well, no one plays 82 anymore.
Well, but somebody does.
Somebody does. Yeah.
But most don't.
Right.
He likely won't. Can you play 70?
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take 70.
Yep.
Bro, I'll take 70 right now.
Yep.
So I do think, and Zach Kleiman mentioned this yesterday, John needs a big season. He needs it. Because at some point, if it's another season similar to the recent seasons, then you are just what they say you are, Then, it's time to stop being disrespected when they put you in the 30s. Not to say that he is, but maybe that's just where an extremely talented but mostly or largely unavailable player belongs, in the 30s. At some point, your reputation is going to be not cemented, but that cement will set at some point. But it ain't yet. It's not set yet. You can still be everything people thought you were going to be. When he's on the court, he shows signs of it. I think he knows it's important for him to do that this season, coming off of the international tour, coming off of the success of the Ja 3s, coming off of the offseason where the front office told you in a very public way what you've been doing, not you specifically necessarily, but what we've been doing here ain't good enough. And this is on you to get it back, at least on some level, to get it back where it's supposed to be. He needs a big season, both for him and for this franchise. And I'll take it even a step further, for this city. I don't mean to put too much on anybody's shoulders, but this is an extremely important season for this franchise and this city. I don't have to tell you that attendance has been a problem. I don't have to tell you that the lease agreement is still not agreed to. And I don't have to tell you that the National Guard is expected to be here any day. All of these things they're things that add question marks to the big picture. And it does scare me on some level to think about what this could look like if the franchise gets off to a tough start this season, if he gets off to a tough start this season, if he, God forbid, goes down again and the injuries pile up and then the losses stack. And this is an important season for the franchise and for him. And I thought it was notable that Zach Kleiman, when talking about this yesterday, did not shy away from at least some parts of what I just said, specifically the parts about Ja. He needs a big season, an all-NBA level season. And he added, Zach Kleiman did, I think he's going to do it. I've been encouraged by what I've seen this offseason. I've been encouraged by what I've heard this offseason. I think he's going to do it. If he stays healthy, he will be an all-NBA player. I believe that. When he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the world.
I completely agree.
Vernon and I were talking about this off the air last week. It is, you start to look at the offense being more tilted toward him, Desmond Bane being traded, the guy taking Desmond Bane's spot not being the type of scorer that Desmond Bane was, Jaren possibly missing time, Zach definitely missing time, Brandon definitely missing time. Somebody's got to score points.
Mm-hmm.
Half-hearted prediction. You could look up 2 weeks in the season, he's leading the NBA in scoring. Somebody's got to score. Who's going to score for this team? They're going to play fast. That means a lot of points.
Yep.
Okay, let's just say Jaren Jackson.
Ball's in his hand.
Ball's in his hands. We're setting ball screens for him. Desmond Bane ain't here anymore. He's been replaced in the starting lineup, presumably by Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So you go from 19.2 points per game with Bane down to at least last season in Orlando, KCP was 8.7. That's 10.5 points per game less from that position, at least the starting guard at that position. Santi Aldama is the third leading returning scorer. 12.5 points per game. Who's going to score?
I'll take that over.
Well, probably. My point is, you got to get to whatever the number is. Somebody's got to get you there. How are you going to get there? Last season, Jai averaged 23.2 in 50 games. His career high is 27.4. 2 weeks into the season, I bet you he's above 27.4.
I bet that too. I agree.
And it might be some of it just because of necessity. At some point, you're going to get into the fourth quarter of games, and it's going to be like, all right, Jaren's still working himself back into game shape, getting comfortable. Zach isn't here. Brandon isn't here. Desmond isn't here. Somebody has to score. Jai, go get 35. Like that's at some point you're going to put the ball in his hands and say, go score, go win the game for us. And he's obviously capable of doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if 2-3 weeks into the season he's leading the NBA in scoring, just because he's going to have to get points. Mm-hmm. I know that.
I like that.
With different rosters and different combos, he's talked about the importance of getting other people involved and not looking for his own shot every possession. But there's going to be points in games where the best offense is going to be give him a ball screen and go put the ball in the basket. And it's good. I'll be surprised if he's not scoring big numbers early. Mm-hmm. Big numbers early. So
I'm in.
Fired up.
That sounds good.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. So that's a 42-minute recap of your 4-hour.
Did we cover it all? I left a few names off. That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get to them.
I feel like we've said enough.
Yeah,
I feel like we've said enough.
Okay.
Training camp underway in Nashville, so it's here. It's here. The offseason is, I guess, not officially over because the games don't start for another couple of weeks, but we're here. Training camp's underway. Grizzlies Media Days in the books. Home opener. It's set for the 22nd. We're going to do it inside FedEx Forum. Grizzlies and Pelicans. When we come back, turn our attention to college football. One of the weird things about having the Grizzlies Media Day on a Monday after a big football weekend is that we don't get to spend time talking about the college football weekend, but it was a massive weekend. Mm-hmm. As predicted, Tigers ripped apart Owls, and I got a big question for Bennett connected to Ryan Silverfield's program. We'll do that next. 5 weeks away from the college football playoff rankings being released. Talk to Bennett about it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Jaren Jackson has a message for y'all. Jaren, say it now.
What?
It's the best show in the world.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, Trip. When I showed up at the event last night, he goes, "You got the biggest show in the world." And I said, "No, I really don't." And he goes, "To me, you do. I see you every day." I asked him why he doesn't just walk up here, and he's like, "Because I don't want you to be able to prepare." I'm like,
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Picked up by Pippen. Bob. Brandon Clark.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Unforeseen and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's Ortho South at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
We are now exactly 5 Tuesdays away from the very first college football playoff rankings of the season being unveiled. Right now, Bennett, as you know, most believe that one spot in the 12-team playoff, the one that's reserved for a group of 5 conference champion, right now, most people believe that that belongs to your undefeated 5-0 University of Memphis Tigers.
Okay.
Right now, ESPN.com gives the Tigers a 34% chance to make the CFP. That's according to its playoff predictor after Memphis destroyed Florida Atlantic this weekend. No other group of 5 team has better than a 15% chance. So again, right now, the Tigers are the group of 5 favorite to make the college football playoff. Big Bet Bennett, 5 Tuesdays from now. That's 4 games away from now. Do you predict that Memphis still holds that spot?
Well, I like Ryan Silverfield, like to take it one game at a time.
I don't ever like to take it. I like to take it 4 games at a time.
I like to take it one game at a time.
I'm taking
and
it 4.
We're looking at Tulsa this Saturday night.
Not
Get
worried
your
about
tickets.
Tulsa.
Get your tickets.
It's not worried about Tulsa.
I missed out. They had a flash sale last night for $9 tickets, and I missed it. Can we get that back up? Can we get the flash sale back up?
If you need a $9 ticket, I feel like I could text somebody and get that for you.
It was late at night. Let's get the flash sale back up, guys.
I can get you a $9 ticket.
No, yes, I do. I do think they will be there. Yes.
I do too.
I felt really like the game on Saturday, it was a little tight there in that first half. And I was like, God, don't do this. Just please don't do this.
See, you were sitting there begging, and you know what I was sitting there doing? Reminding myself that over 60 minutes of competitive football, Owls are no match for Tigers.
They are not.
You were worried. I was not worried because I had already done my research. I was prepared for the day. Owls are no match for Tigers in the jungle or on the football field.
Well, and I kind of like, there is a theme of these games now, and I kind of like the direction that it's going, because it hasn't been like this in the past. Is, dude, what they do, they run that ball down your throat, and they do not stop, and then you just get sick of tackling them in the fourth or in the second half of the game, right? Like that's what happened.
And you got a quarterback who likes to initiate some contact.
Who likes it, dude? I know we got a little scare there too.
Every once in a while, you get a quarterback. You might want to calm down a little bit. Slide every once in a while.
Take a slide every now and again.
Slide every once in a while. But every once in a while, you got a quarterback who you're like, ooh, I wouldn't mind hitting him.
Yeah.
Right now, Memphis has a quarterback. You know what the quarterback does? I'm gonna hit you
because
I'll hit you.
Well, it's 2 games in a row now that in the fourth quarter, they've had these huge breakaway runs from the running back, and it's because they just pound these teams with the run, and they get sick of tackling in the fourth quarter, and they got these super athletic running backs, and they're just able to break off a huge play. And so I love that it's kind of been trending that way for this team, and now it's happening. We're seeing it on the field.
What I'm hearing you say is you like the idea of your football team having an identity. And Ryan Silverfield's Tigers, they have an identity.
I mean, listen, man, I'm from the South. I like to run the damn ball.
Like to run the damn ball?
I like to run the damn ball. I need one of those hats that just say run the damn ball.
So let me run you through the next 4 games.
Okay.
Saturday at home against Tulsa.
Okay. Need a good crowd. Get your tickets.
2 Saturdays after that, at UAB.
I get it. I know it's a rivalry game, but
it's about all the bones. We're battling for bones. We're going to go to Birmingham and battle for some bones.
Yeah, and take the bones.
We're taking the bones.
Well, I think we already have them.
We own the bones, and we will keep the bones.
We're
like, if this were the Ryder Cup, we would be Europe, and UAB would be the underachieving Americans.
Correct.
Yeah. We're more like Europe.
Yes, in that sense, yes.
We own the bones.
Mm-hmm.
We will retain the bones.
Yes.
After that, USF at home.
That's the big one.
That's what they say.
That's the big one.
That is what they say. And then on Halloween night at Rice.
More owls? My God.
More food, more owls.
More food, more owls. Okay.
So Memphis is 5-0 right now. According to MasseyRatings.com, should be favored by at least 8 points in each of the next 4 games. Massey Ratings has Memphis minus 24 against Tulsa. The actual line in the books is Memphis minus 20.5. But still, Massey Ratings has it at 24. After that, at UAB, Massey Ratings has it Memphis minus 17 with a projected score of 41-24. After that, versus USF, Massey Ratings has it Memphis minus 8 with a projected score of 35-27. After that, at Rice, Massey Ratings has it Memphis minus 16, projected score 33-17. So if those 4 games go the way they're supposed to go, the way they're expected to go, 5 Tuesdays from now, Memphis will be 9-0. At that point, certainly ranked in the AP poll.
Without question.
Or there will be hell to pay for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get to the What to Watch segment of GP's Carryout, 5 Tuesdays from today, you know what I'm going to tell you to watch?
The college football playoff special.
Because tonight, let's go ahead and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Because tonight, they're going to unveil the first 12-team bracket for the college football playoff. And for the first time in school history, the University of Memphis is going to see its football program pop into that bracket. Let's celebrate.
I love it.
I'm old enough to remember Big Bet Bennett when people would jump on, let's call it MemphisTigers.org, and debate whether or not Memphis should fold its football program and just focus on men's basketball. Because football is hopeless. You'll never be anything. Not in this sport. That's what they posted on MemphisTigers.org.
Mm-hmm.
I seen it with my own eyes.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I hope so.
I do too. I want to believe that someone's still running that thing.
What do you think's going on over there?
Oh, it's just rage. Just outrage. Outrage over something.
It could be possible everybody who's over there could just be gone by now.
Yeah.
I mean, like gone.
Well, they're good. There's nothing to be outraged about.
Oh, I bet you somebody's still. I bet you somebody's still mad about something.
Yeah, right.
I bet you I could still go over there and find a lengthy thread about GP's politics. I bet you that's over there somewhere. You nerds. They talked about folding the football program, Bennett, because it'd never amount to anything. Waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy. But now look, 5 Tuesdays from today, if things go not the way I want them to go, but just the way they're supposed to go, Memphis will be 9-0, ranked in the AP poll, and a part of a television show designed to unveil the first bracket for the college football playoff this season.
It starts with the Golden Hurricanes this Saturday.
You still want to take it one game at a time.
I mean,
take it 4 games at a time.
They did get Mike Gundy fired.
I take it 4 games at a time.
They ain't the worst team in the world.
That's a good point. You cannot lose. You cannot start 5-0.
You can't lose to a Golden Hurricane.
You cannot lose to a Golden Hurricane.
Yeah.
Any kind of hurricane.
Yeah, but especially a golden one.
I respect hurricanes. I want to be clear about that. And by respect, I mean I fear them.
Mm-hmm.
I have proper fear of them.
The real ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the college football ones.
Not the golden ones.
Yeah, not the golden ones.
That sounds...
What is that?
Sounds like a pea shower thing.
I know it does sound like a golden shower. It just does.
It does.
I'm sorry. I don't
know what to do with
Tulsa. That's what pops in my head. I'm sorry.
I don't know what to do with Tulsa. Do they want to play us in football, or they want us to pee on them?
I don't know, but it is what I think of too. It just is. Maybe that says something about me.
What do you want to do, Tulsa? Do you want to play football, or you want to get urinated on? At some point, they're going to have to address that. What do you want? What do you want out of this experience?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get together? You want to get together this weekend and play football? Or what's going on with this Golden Hurricane thing you keep talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What do you keep talking about that for?
Mm-hmm.
What are you really trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at them with a skeptical eye. We should destroy them.
I hope so.
4 touchdowns.
Okay.
It's a 4-touchdown victory this weekend to improve to 6-0 on the season.
I'll take it.
I'm going to take it to.
All right.
I'm excited.
Number 2.
Lane Kiffin. Do you know Lane Kiffin has social media?
Yes, I did know that.
Thank God for that.
Yep.
Thank God for that. Because after beating LSU this weekend to remain undefeated, final score 24-19 down at Vaught Hemingway Stadium. And as long as we're bragging on the Tigers being a part of the college football playoff projections, we should probably point out that Ole Miss is very much a part of them too.
Yeah.
The Rebels are now ranked 4th in the AP poll, 5-0 behind only Ohio State, Oregon, and Miami. So Lane Kiffin, they beat LSU. And he went digging through, I guess, the photo archive, and he found a picture of Brian Kelly with a young football player once upon a time. He decided to put that on social media yesterday. Look at that. Look at that. That's Brian Kelly when he was at Notre Dame. He's now the LSU coach. And look at that little fella right beside him. You see who that is?
That's his quarterback.
That's Trinidad Chambliss, the starting quarterback of your Ole Miss Rebels, who once again went out this past weekend and was pretty good. 23 of 39, 314 yards, got a touchdown. Most importantly, a victory over LSU that took the Tigers from Baton Rouge out of the top 5 of the AP poll and moved the Rebels from Oxford right into the top 5. And this Trinidad Chambliss thing, this is the coolest story in college football right now.
I think so.
Do you realize he's now top 5 in Heisman?
I figured after that game.
He's a top 5 Heisman candidate, according to FanDuel Sportsbook. Division II quarterback who came there to be Austin Simmons' backup. And now Austin Simmons, I don't think they've made it official yet, but he's Wally pipped. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
You cannot go back to him right now.
I don't think so.
There is no way you can take the ball out of that young man's hands.
Especially after you post that picture.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, you can't do that.
Especially after this is where we've reached. This is the point we've reached with this story. There are now Ole Miss fans showing up at Vaught Hemingway Stadium with Trinidad and Tobago flags. If you do that, there's Google searches out there, like articles. Why are Ole Miss fans carrying these flags into games? It's because people are turning on the TV and seeing these flags and being like, what is going on there? Are they protesting something? I promise you, they're not protesting at a football game in Oxford. They're doing other things. Yeah. But that's where we're at. Incredible story. Nice troll from Lane Kiffin. Your Rebels remain undefeated. And they might have found him Think about this. What if, of all the Deuce for Heisman, Eli for Heisman, of all the Heisman campaigns in Oxford, what if the one that actually
sticks was your backup quarterback? Yeah.
Who your Division II transfer backup quarterback actually emerges as your real Heisman Trophy winner? I'm not predicting it, but I am hoping for it.
It'd be cool.
It would be cool. Congratulations to everybody down at Ole Miss, particularly Trinidad Chambliss, top 5 in Heisman candidates right now, according to the betting markets.
Number 3.
Penny Hardaway spoke out at TPC Southwind yesterday. They ought to just move his media availability out there just
on the course. Yeah.
Every time, and I'm not judging or shaming. I'm going to the golf course just as soon as the show's over.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll probably see him out there.
Yeah.
All right. But every time I see him talking to the media, it's at the golf course. He should just do his press conferences we do one at Spring Creek and one at Southwind and just alternate between the two. Anyway, he talked to the media yesterday and seemed to suggest, even though, we're still several weeks away from the exhibition with Arkansas, more than a month away from the start of the regular season, he already has a pretty good idea of what his starting lineup is going to look like. And he didn't get into names specifically, but as Jason Munz at the Commercial Pill pointed out, he has constantly talked about at least 3 players pretty enthusiastically, and that's Doug McDaniel, Sincere Parker, and Aaron Bradshaw. And that shouldn't surprise you. Those are probably the 3 most high-profile transfers that are enrolling, with Bradshaw being the former McDonald's All-American, Parker being a really productive mid-major guard, and McDaniel being somebody who has, produced at the power conference level. Penny has also said recently he thinks this is maybe his second most talented roster. I don't know.
I saw that.
I'm not going to argue with him about it. It doesn't look to me like that on paper, but he's seen it up close and knows it better than I do. So I hope he's right, because I had somebody this weekend ask me, so what do you think about the Tigers? And here's my honest opinion. I think the roster is good enough where they should be able to win their league, because nobody else in their league has players like just those 3 players I just named. I don't think there's 3 players like that in the league. Like Memphis could have, I don't want to say 3 best, but 3 of the most talented players in the league. Just in terms of talent, Memphis has the best roster. It's not close. My concern is that the non-league schedule could get them.
It's really, really good. I mean, that's the byproduct of scheduling this well in the non-conference, is it could go south, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like it went brilliantly last season.
Right.
And that allowed them to, hold a place in the top 25 for much of the year and get a 5 seed in the NCAA tournament. But everything from that team's gone. This is a whole new batch of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just because your roster on paper appears to be better than the North Texas roster, Tulane roster, any other roster in the American, it's not necessarily better than the rosters you're going to be playing in that non-league portion of the schedule.
Right.
And my fear is that they could win their league, but before they get a chance to win their league, they got banged on and messed up their at-large hopes. And what that can do is just rip away the enthusiasm from the fan base. So then you get into the conference portion of your schedule, you just won 7 of 8. You're in first place in your league, but your fans clocked out 6 weeks ago after you dropped to 4 and 5 in your non-league schedule or something like that. That would be my fear.
Because right before they start conference play, they do have that gauntlet of Baylor at Louisville, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State. That's 4 Power 5
Those are all losable games.
Opponents.
Any one of those teams could be. All of those teams could beat you.
Yeah, that's
all
a
of those
huge
teams could
stretch.
beat you.
Yep.
So that would be my fear, that they get banged on a little in their non-league or a lot in their non-league, and it just messes up the season. Even if they go on to win the league, if you underachieve in your non-league, you know what people start doing? Clocking out, focusing on football, focusing on the Grizzlies. You don't even know when the Tigers are playing. And then they win 7 of 8. They win 11 of 13. They got a 2-game lead in the AAC, and it takes all that time for you to even get interested again, because you lost interest with the tough non-league schedule. That's my fear.
Mine is that the league is going to be a one-bid league. That's what scares me the most.
Well, yeah, you can count on that.
Well, and that's the problem, is I don't want to have to rely on winning the conference tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. I hate that.
And my fear is that you might have to.
Yeah.
Because the non-league schedule is aggressive. And the team you had last year was good enough to handle it. I hope this year's team is good enough to handle it, but I'm not sure it is. And I don't know how anybody could be sure it is. It's all new. You can have confidence if you want, but what is it rooted in exactly? I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
I do think this is interesting, something I picked up on recently. The Sincere Parker issue is just sort of hanging out there. Like, he's due back in court whenever he's due back in court, and it's an unresolved legal matter.
Mm-hmm.
And in recent years in college athletics, you would have student athletes charged with these types of crimes, and they would just be withheld from competition. It's sort of athletic department policy, and the school will release a statement saying it's a university policy. When somebody is charged with this crime, they forfeit the privilege of representing the university in an athletic setting. So until this is resolved, this person will be withheld from competition. And it felt like that was a thing for a while. And then it seemed to soften a little bit, where schools were like, particularly after, I don't want to put a number on it, but it happened more than once. Player accused of rape, player charged with domestic violence. Suspended, can't represent us. Career's over. Charges dropped 8 months later. We had a lot of that. It happened to Chris Jones, a Melrose High graduate from here in Memphis. His Louisville career ended with a sexual assault allegation that was eventually just dropped. But he never got those college games back.
Right.
And I think some coaches and administrators reached a point where they felt like, are we really doing right by the young people? We think we're doing right by saying we're not going to allow somebody charged with this serious crime represent us. But what if they're not guilty?
Mm-hmm.
What if the charge gets dropped? What if they're ultimately found not guilty? Then we just ripped this away from this person. These are experiences they'll never get back. So are we really doing the right thing? And I can just tell you, these are conversations administrators are having with each other, having with themselves, and struggling with internally. What is the right thing to do? And this is one where I used to think I knew, and I don't think I know anymore. I used to say things like this. If not say them, think them. You have a young man charged with beating up a woman? It's not just an allegation, it's a charge. I just don't see how you can let him represent your school, period. We'll see where it goes, and it's unfortunate, but charged with this, can't play for my team. But then the charges get dropped, and then they get reinstated immediately. And the only thing that mattered is that they missed 11 games with the benefit of hindsight for no great reason. So, like, I think I position myself in the morally right spot, but did I do the right thing? I don't know. So the other side of that is innocent until proven guilty. And we're not going to ruin somebody's life over an allegation. We're not even going to ruin somebody's life over a charge. If they are convicted, then we'll respect our judicial system and then we'll deal with that. But we're not going to rip games away from somebody who hasn't actually been convicted of anything. That is more or less the way we do it at the professional level. Kobe Bryant played through an entire rape trial. So is that the right thing? And I'm just telling you, as of September 30th, 2025, I don't know what the right answer is anymore.
Right, I agree.
I struggle with it. Because on one hand, I would hate for a young man who beat up a woman to be representing my university. On the other hand, you know what I would hate? For a young man who's been falsely accused of beating up a woman to have his college career ripped away from him if it didn't really happen the way that it has been explained. I hope it's clear. I am expressing no opinion on the facts of the case. I don't know what happened. I just know that these are the things that administrators are dealing with, and it's complicated. Here's my point. I've been led to believe that with Sincere Parker, who has been accused of some serious stuff, charged with serious stuff, my understanding is they're just going to let it play out. He's going to play.
And he's due back in court in October, I believe.
Yeah, but I've been given little indication that this will be resolved. Like, charges dropped, or either you went to trial. The only way this is resolved is charges dropped, or you plead to a lesser charge or whatever, you plea out of it, or you go to trial and you either guilty or not guilty. But those are the way. Right now, it's not resolved.
Yep.
I don't know that it'll be unresolved by the time the Tigers open the season. But the impression I was left with was that the university is going to take a wait-and-see approach and allow him to participate while these charges are lingering above his head. And that's a shift a little bit in the way some schools had been handling things recently. But I don't know that it's wrong. I know it's a complicated situation. And this is one where I think I would have criticized them, say, 5 years ago if they would have gone down this path. And I don't know that I'll feel comfortable criticizing them this time if they do it the way I believe they're going to do it, because I don't know anymore what is the right thing to do. I used to think I did, but then I watched too many people have things ripped away from them, and then the charges just go away. The allegations never amount to anything, and that feels wrong. That feels wrong. So I'll let you guys debate it. Maybe at memphistigers.org. But my understanding is Sincere Parker is going to be in uniform, and unless he's found guilty, like, of the crimes he's accused of committing, as long as it's unresolved, my understanding is he's probably going to be in uniform playing for the Tigers. And whether that's right or wrong, other people can decide. But it does, on paper, makes them a better basketball team.
Number 4.
Tyreek Hill's knee is messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just the ACL. He tore multiple ligaments.
Well, brother, I saw the video. I mean, I was watching it when it happened.
Your leg's not supposed to look like that.
No, that thing was mangled. And then he was like laughing maniacally as he was getting carted off the field.
I think you're just in shock, right?
Maybe so.
You just don't even know, like, what? How'd this just happen?
Well, he was going, yes.
I think
yes.
I think you just lose your mind.
You know? What are you yelling yes about?
I just think
that he's not a Dolphin anymore.
I mean, I saw that joke. I mean, I just think you're in a little bit of shock. You're in a little bit of shock. Like, what's going on right now?
Maybe so.
My whole life, I've used these things.
Yeah.
To make millions of dollars and run away from people. And now these things don't allow me to be what I used to. You saw the clip a few weeks ago where somebody was like, in a media gathering, somebody was like, what do you make of the fact that you haven't called a ball from more than 30 yards in more than a year or something like that? Like, you ain't running away from people anymore, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he sort of laughed about it and, addressed it. But you've had these things attached to the lower part of your body that have made you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you've used them to become who you are. And now they're not as good as they used to be. And now one of them is bent in a way that ain't right.
No.
I bet that puts you in shock.
Probably so.
Yeah. It would me. It would me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any body part as good as Tyreek Hill's legs.
I do not either.
Right?
I do not either.
So to see your incredible body part mangled like that, okay, Bennett. Calm down.
I'm just kidding.
It doesn't sound like you're kidding sometimes.
Just kidding. It was just a good setup.
It doesn't sound like
good setup.
It doesn't sound like you're kidding all the time.
It was just a good setup.
It doesn't sound like you're kidding all the time. So, is he done with the Dolphins? I mean, people were already talking about that before what happened last night. But he might be done as a Abel Walker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
No, he'll play football again. I don't mean that.
Well, he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah, but like, may never be the same. I mean, there was already indications that he's not the same as the Tyreek Hill you remember at the peak of his powers. And now you got to recover from this. Obviously, 2025 is done. There's some thought like he won't even be ready for 2026.
I don't think so. Yeah. I couldn't see that.
Long road to recovery.
Yes.
Long road to recovery. We wish him luck, don't we?
And
unless he is as bad of a person as the police reports suggest, then maybe we don't wish him luck. But I'm going to let other people decide that. I don't feel like it's any of my business.
Yeah. That was the only really newsworthy story out of, and we had 2 Monday Night Football games last night. That was about as bad. It was as advertised.
That's
brother.
the worst doubleheader of Monday Night Football history.
And we knew it coming into it, and it delivered.
Here's the thing. I didn't even get to a point where I could be bored by the games. I just decided like mid-afternoon I was just bored by the games.
Mm-hmm.
And I had them both on. But like, we watched episode 2 of Black Rabbit and episode 4 of Task, and you had the games on like, off to the side, but I just couldn't even I just didn't care at all.
No,
there wasn't any interesting thing about any, like if it was last year's Jets, you'd at least have Aaron Rodgers. You know, I don't care about the Jets, the Bengals without Joe Burrow. Nobody cares about that.
Oh, dude, Troy Aikman got mad on that broadcast. He was pissed about the Bengals. They are so cooked without Joe Burrow.
And then who else is there?
Crazy.
I mean, the Broncos. Who cares about that?
They're a good story. They're a fun story. They're interesting.
And then I wanted to love the Dolphins, but my little coach is going through it.
Oh, Mike McDaniel. Yeah, he got a much needed win, but I'm not sure how much is going to matter.
There is no chance he's still the coach at the end of the season.
I don't think so. And then he just lost your best offensive player.
Right.
So like that's
no. We're gonna walk in. There's gonna be it'll be a Monday or a Tuesday in the next 8 weeks, and he's just done.
Yeah,
he can't survive this.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't even get to the point where I could be. I just looked at this games and I was like, well. Because this is the way I look at NFL games. I look at it and I go, because I don't have a favorite team and I don't have a fantasy team.
Yep.
So I just have to look at what's interesting about this. Oh, Jackson Dart's making his first career start. That's interesting. I want to see that. All right. anything with the Chiefs is interesting because they're the Chiefs. I'll check that out. Lamar Jackson, that's an interesting story. Whenever he's playing, I want to watch that. This Justin Herbert thing, that's kind of fun. Let's see where that goes. Interesting. There wasn't anything interesting for me last night.
No, and I cannot believe that the schedule makers put that Jets-Dolphins game on just because, like, at least with the Bengals and the Broncos, you're like, okay, the Broncos are supposed to be good, and the Bengals, like with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, like in theory, that was what they were going to have when they scheduled that, and that's a big game. There was a 0% chance that either one of the Dolphins or the Jets weren't going to be 0-3 coming into that game.
I know, and I know market size doesn't matter in the NFL really because it's the NFL. It transcends everything, but you do get New York, Miami.
I mean, shit, they didn't put any Titans games on any primetime games this year because they knew they were going to be terrible, and that was the right choice.
And by terrible, I think you mean ass.
Yes.
That's what your quarterback said.
If we're keeping it a buck, we are ass.
We are ass.
Yeah, I love that. That actually made me like him even more.
Imagine you're the number one pick in the draft, and like 4 games into the season, you're like, man, we are ass.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to say. I'm surprised. Okay, I'm surprised we have not gotten the Callahan news. I said this weekend, I was like, he's going to get fired on Tuesday. The past 2 coaches that they fired on a Tuesday. And so I thought today was going to be the day that he got fired. I can't believe they haven't yet because the Adams family, they do not like losing to Houston. That is like in the history of the Titans in Tennessee since they moved, they do not take kindly to losing to Houston, and they got embarrassed by Houston. So I'm surprised he didn't get fired yet. Maybe they just ride this thing out. I don't know.
Well, I wish you better days ahead. I'm sure better days are ahead, Bennett, but I don't.
Not this season.
I don't know when
this season.
I don't know when they're going to get there.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5.
Woohoo! Major League Baseball playoffs get started today. Oh, we're less than an hour away from Game 1, Tigers Guardians best of 3 series at Progressive Field in Cleveland. That'll be followed by Padres at Cubs, Red Sox at Yankees, Reds at Dodgers. The Mets didn't make it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, are you in a sense glad that we had media day yesterday so you didn't have to come in here and talk about that?
Genuinely mad.
Because you had it. Like, you could have had it.
Like, I just sat there on Sunday.
It wasn't out of your control.
All you had to do was win 2 or 3 from the Marlins. All you had to do was beat the Marlins on Sunday.
It's the Marlins.
It impacted I was just mad on Sunday.
I've been there, man.
And I had people like sending me messages and I didn't even know how to respond. Mm-hmm. I didn't tweet anything. I was just mad. I was just privately and silently mad. Just by myself, just mad. I spend all summer caring and watching and going. And it'd be one thing if you're just not good enough. On June 12th, they were 45-24.
That's insane.
21 games above 500. Best record in Major League Baseball. All right? 45-24. That's through 69 games. That's not half the season, but roughly half the season. Think about this for a second. And I know it's apples to oranges and blah, blah, blah. Think about if somebody roughly 40-45% through the regular season in the NBA had the best record in the NBA. Better than the Thunder, better than the Knicks, better than everybody. And then they missed the playoffs. That's impossible.
That's kind of impossible.
It should be.
Yeah.
After starting 45-24, they went 38-55 the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm mad at y'all because, I mean, we were at least going to get Dodgers Mets. Like, that's 2 big brands. They're going to watch the Dodgers blast the Cincinnati Reds.
45-24 to start. Final 93 games, 38-55. Missed the playoffs. And there was a graphic going around over the weekend. It's like the Mets have lost all of these games. And in the graphic, it would be like up 4-1 in the 5th, up 7-2 in the 6th, up 5-0 in the 3rd. Just lost them. Second highest payroll in baseball.
Ouch.
Best record in baseball on on June 12th. Miss the playoffs. Maddening.
Just got to run it back.
So now I just can't. No, not doing that. So now I can't wait. I love that. Like, I know NCAA tournament's great and playoff football. I got it. I love the Major League Baseball playoffs. I love watching playoff baseball.
I do too.
And I'm just mad at it. Like, I'm going to turn on the Reds and Dodgers tonight at 8 o'clock, and I'm just going to say Nolan McClain should be pitching tonight. We should have our rookie at Dodger Stadium tonight trying to outduel two-time Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell to take a 1-0 lead on Shohei and Mookie and the Dodgers. I should be so excited about tonight. I'm just mad. Look at me. Do I look mad?
Yeah.
I'm just mad. Steve Cohen's the owner. He apologized on Twitter, so that makes it better.
Good.
At least he took ownership. At least he said, "Hey, I owe you an apology."
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, if you guys come out and support the franchise, I'm gonna build a winner for you." And you come out and you supported the franchise, set an attendance record at Citi Field this season. Missed the playoffs by a game.
Damn.
It's time to spend we need $1 billion payroll.
Dude. You need to be number one.
$1 billion payroll next year. I want $1 billion. And Paul Skeens. I don't even know how they'd get him. I just wish they would try.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah. Get Paul Skeens. Tick payroll up to $1 billion. See if we can maybe sneak in a wild card next year with $1 billion payroll.
I mean, I will say, and that's pretty brutal and gross, and I feel your pain, man. But Yankees Red Sox is fine. I get that.
I'm going to have fun watching baseball, but I just feel a little defeated.
Yeah.
You know?
I would too.
I just feel a little defeated. I feel like just feel a little defeated. Be back with GP's carryout.
Did you see the end of Ace's Storm? Let me play it out for you. Storm get the ball back, and it's Gabby Williams, and oh, God. You'll never know. We'll never know. A hell of a way to say, you lost. Lights are out, take the ball, go home, or don't take the ball because your season is over.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
So we weren't the only ones that had Media Day yesterday. They also had them at various spots around the NBA, including San Antonio. And did you know what we learned at the Spurs Media Day?
I learned De'Aaron Fox ain't going to be ready to start the season.
Yeah, I think we knew that.
Okay.
You know what else we learned?
What?
Victor Wembanyama has grown.
Has he really?
That's what they say.
You know who else has grown? Gigi. That dude's huge.
I didn't stand next to Gigi
I was standing
yesterday.
next to him yesterday. I was like, damn, dude, you're a giant.
He's a giant Gigi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just throwing that out there.
For the first couple of years of his career, Wemby was listed as 7'3". Yesterday, Spurs official roster comes out. You know what he's listed as?
7'5".
Bennett, this was very easy.
What?
Just have to go up by 1.
7'4".
Yeah. So now, he is one of the 2 tallest active players in the NBA. Do you know who the other is?
The other would be...
There are 2 7'4" players in the NBA. Before yesterday, there were only 1. Now there's 2.
It's not Edey.
Zach Edey.
Is he really?
The 2 tallest players in the NBA, according to lists. Listed heights, Zach Edey and Victor Wembanyama. But the headline, Wemby still growing at the age of 21. He's now the favorite to win Defensive Player of the Year, minus 185 at FanDuel. Yeah, we're going to see about that.
What's today's biggest game?
Okay, since you like it so much, let's do it. Game 1, AL wildcard. Red Sox at Yankees. Boston's going with Garrett Crochet. The Mets are going with Max Fried. Not the Mets.
God. Yeah, they really are on your mind.
I just wrote New York here and then went to Mets. The Yankees are going with Max Fried. So, went down to Atlanta this summer. Random story. Went down to Atlanta this summer. Went to Mets Braves. And when we were coming home, we got up on like whatever day it was. Let's call it a Sunday. And decided to go to brunch. We went to brunch at a little place there in the greater Atlanta area. And got seated right next to a couple. And I had a hat on like this, something like this. It was a Mets hat. And the guy, old man, older gentleman.
Yep.
He was sitting next to him. He was like, oh, so you're a Mets fan, huh? And I said, yes, sir. And he said, so did you go to the game yesterday? He said, you going to the game today? I said, no, we're headed home today. We went to the game yesterday, though. And he said, oh, yeah, we watched that one. Chris Sale was really good, wasn't he? And I said, yeah, he was great. And it was terrible. Ruined my... Nothing you want to... Ain't much worse you can have taking your kids to a Mets game and Chris Sale's on the other side of you. That ain't fun.
Right.
Anyway, here's what the man said. We started talking. He said, you know who my neighbor used to be? And I said, I was like, I don't know. That's a weird transition. I was like, no, I don't even know who you are. So how would I possibly guess who your neighbor used to be? He said, well, he's not my neighbor anymore. He moved to New York. But my neighbor used to be Max Fried.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I said, oh, buddy, what do you do for a living?
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, pretty high-end neighborhood right there, I would assume.
And you know what I just remembered as I'm telling the story? Because I don't think I've ever told the story because it didn't seem... Maybe a good reason to think I shouldn't have told the story is that it never occurred to me to tell it before.
Yeah.
Not that good of a story. It just popped in my head when I saw Max Fried pitching tonight, game 1. I think I remember the guy saying they were in some sort of catering business. And he was like, where are you from? And I was like, Memphis. And they do something up here. His business creaked because he was like, have you ever been to this place? And I was like, yeah, of course. And he was like, well, yeah, that's me. But I don't remember what it was. I think I stopped paying attention once my food got to the table or something.
That?
Anyway, Max Fried is pitching tonight for the Yankees. Red Sox, Yankees. I can give you the Yankees at minus 140, the Red Sox at plus 120. How you going to act?
I want to go with the Yankees. The Red Sox are actually good against them this season.
Does this hurt you? The Blue Jays are in, or Yankees are in, Red Sox are in. Basically, the whole AL East is in.
I mean,
except for your stupid Orioles.
I accepted that months ago.
You knew it. You knew.
I accepted that months ago.
You knew.
I don't know why. I'm gonna go Red Sox.
Bennett wants to take the Red Sox on the road.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
He wants to take the Red Sox. He doesn't know why.
It feels like one of those it's Yankees, Red Sox. You're so fired. It just feels like I just feel like it's a letdown spot. I don't know why. It's just something's telling me.
It's going to be good. Like I saw, I don't know if this was an official promo, but I saw some like Yankees Red Sox promo, like all the history of the rivalry.
Yeah.
And in the music background was No Church in the Wild. And I was like, all right, I'm getting pumped up for this.
Yeah.
I'm getting fired.
Yeah, something's telling
What's
me.
a king to a god? What is a king to a god?
Something's telling me Red Sox.
Bennett said take the Red Sox at plus 120.
I did lose Friday.
You did.
And then we got a field storming out of it. Took took Florida State.
Yeah.
That was such a. I knew it was wrong in the moment too. That's what I'm saying. Like my heart, I wanted to ride with Mike Norvell on Friday. What did it get me? A loss. Here, I'm kind of wanting to ride with the Yankees because I'm like, oh, that's the Yankees. Like you want to see them advance in the postseason. It's always more fun when the Yankees are involved. Feels like a letdown spot.
Bennett said take the Red Sox at plus 120. What's a god to a non-believer? Boston plus 120.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Wayward?
What's Wayward?
Number one TV show on Netflix right now. That's all.
Okay. I haven't heard of it.
Well, it's number one on Netflix right now. TV shows. That's all. Nothing is what it seems in Tall Pines. After an escape attempt from an academy for troubled teens, 2 students joined forces with a newly local police officer, unearthing the town's dark and deeply rooted secrets. Mae Martin? Toni Collette? You like Toni Collette?
I like Toni Collette.
I do
She's
too.
great.
Why do we both like Toni Collette?
I like her from Hereditary.
I don't even know why I like
scary.
her. I don't even know why I like this woman. I just think I do.
You ever seen Hereditary?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a scary one. Yeah.
I like Toni Collette, but I don't know why.
Demonic possession.
I like demonic possessions, as long as they're on other people, not me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be possessed by a demon, but I don't mind if other people are, as long as they stay away from me, you know?
Yeah.
78% approval on Rotten Tomatoes. Can I interest you in Wayward? Maybe you'll try it.
This is a TV series?
Yes, limited series.
Yeah, that's concerning though. I've told you that like the TV shows skew high in the ratings on the tomato meter. Like if you're a good one, you're at least 90s.
I think you're onto something. Like Black Rabbit's up there pretty good.
Yeah.
Task is up there pretty good.
Yeah, you're in the 90s if you're a good show. 70s, that would make me nervous.
Bennett's nervous about Wayward.
Yeah.
We like Toni Collette, but
I'll be the judge.
We like Toni Collette, but we're nervous about Wayward.
Yeah.
That's a fair assessment of things.
Yeah.
It's available right now, Netflix.com.
What's the best thing we've read?
Fourth question, Candid Quotes series that we do at CBSSports.com publishes today. Matt Norland and I asked more than 100 college coaches the following question. Who's the best X's and O's coach in college basketball right now? Just in terms of, man, that guy, that team, they run good stuff. That guy's puts his players in a position to succeed, blah, blah, blah. Leading vote getter, Purdue's Matt Painter. Second leading vote getter, UConn's Dan Hurley. Third leading vote getter, Creighton's Greg McDermott. And those 3 men got more than half of the vote. So every other vote was for one of those 3. They kind of separated from the pack. Nobody else got more than 7%. Your top 5 in order, Matt Painter, Dan Hurley, Greg McDermott, Kelvin Sampson, Ben McCollum, the new coach at Iowa. If you want to read that, you can find it. It'll be up a little later on today, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's going to be Wednesday. That means Chris Vernon will join me in studio. We'll talk Grizzlies as training camp continues to unfold in Nashville. Should be a fun show. Looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. Let's try to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.
Did you see the end of Ace's Storm? Let me play it out for you. Storm get the ball back, and it's Gabby Williams, and oh, God. You'll never know. We'll never know. A hell of a way to say, you lost. Lights are out, take the ball, go home, or don't take the ball because your season is over.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Jaren Jackson has a message for y'all. Jaren, say it now.
What?
It's the best show in the world.
Yeah, Trip. When I showed up at the event last night, he goes, "You got the biggest show in the world." And I said, "No, I really don't." And he goes, "To me, you do. I see you every day." I asked him why he doesn't just walk up here, and he's like, "Because I don't want you to be able to prepare." I was like,
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.